400 simple sentences for improve your English for beginner level. Let's start. Lesson 1. I am a student. You are my friend. He is a doctor. She is at home. It is a sunny day. We are in the park. They are happy. The cat is black. My bag is heavy. You are very kind. I am not late. He is not tired. We are not hungry. She is my sister. They are my cousins. It is not raining. Are you a teacher? Is he your brother? Are they at school? We are good friends. Lesson 2. I was at home yesterday. You were very happy. He was a teacher last year. She was my neighbor. It was a cold day. We were in the garden. They were tired after the trip. The dog was very playful. My shoes were dirty. The room was small. I was not late. You were not at school. He was not hungry. We were not friends before. She was a good dancer. They were at the party. Was he at the store? Were you sick last week? Was it a nice holiday? They were not ready for the test. Lesson 3. Present continuous. I am reading a book. You are walking in the park. He is eating an apple. She is writing a letter. It is raining outside. We are playing football. They are studying English. The dog is barking loudly. My mom is cooking dinner. The children are laughing. I am not sleeping now. You are not listening to me. He is not working today. She is not running fast. It is not snowing today. We are not watching TV. They are not dancing at the party. Are you singing a song? Is he drinking water? Are they playing in the garden? Lesson 4. Past continuous. I was reading a book last night. You were walking home yesterday. He was eating lunch at noon. She was writing in her notebook. It was raining in the morning. We were playing basketball at 4 p.m. They were studying for the test. The baby was crying all night. My brother was cooking dinner. The birds were singing in the trees. I was not sleeping at 10 p.m. You were not working on the project. He was not running in the race. She was not talking to anyone. It was not snowing yesterday. We were not watching TV in the evening. They were not dancing at the party. Were you reading a magazine? Was he playing video games? Were they walking in the park? Lesson 5. Present Perfect. I have finished my homework. You have eaten your lunch. He has gone to the store. She has written a story. It has stopped raining. We have visited our grandparents. They have played in the garden. The cat has caught a mouse. My friend has sent me a letter. The teacher has explained the lesson. I have not seen that movie. You have not cleaned your room. He has not studied for the test. She has not called her sister. It has not broken yet. We have not gone to the park. They have not bought any gifts. Have you finished your work? Has she read this book? Have they visited the museum? Lesson 6. Past Perfect. I had finished my homework before dinner. You had eaten your lunch before 1 p.m. He had left the house before it started raining. She had written the letter before I arrived. It had rained a lot by the morning. We had visited the museum before it closed. They had played football before it got dark. The dog had eaten its food before we came back. My sister had cleaned her room before the guests arrived. The children had finished their homework by the time the teacher came. I had not seen the movie before yesterday. You had not visited that city before last summer. He had not studied for the exam. She had not met him before the party. It had not stopped raining by the evening. We had not packed our bags before the taxi came. They had not left the house before 8 a.m. Had you finished your homework before dinner? Had she visited her friend before the trip? Had they eaten breakfast before going to school? Lesson 7. First Conditional. If I study, I will pass the test. If you work hard, you will succeed. If he runs, he will catch the bus. If she cooks, we will eat dinner together. If it rains, we will stay at home. If we leave now, we will arrive on time. If they call, I will answer the phone. If the dog barks, someone will come to check. If my brother helps, we will finish quickly. If I wake up early, I will go for a walk. If you don't study, you won't pass the test. If he doesn't eat, he will feel hungry. If she doesn't work, she won't earn money. If we don't leave, we will miss the train. If they don't try, they won't succeed. Will you come if I invite you? Will he go to the party if they call him? Will it stop raining if the sun comes out? What will happen if I forget my homework? Who will help if we have a problem? Lesson 8, Second Conditional. If I had more time, I would read more books. If you studied, you would pass the test. If he were here, he would help us. If she had a car, she would drive to work. If it rained, we would stay indoors. If we won the lottery, we would travel the world. If they saw a ghost, they would scream. If the dog could talk, it would tell us its secrets. If I were a bird, I would fly high. If my sister knew, she would tell me the truth. If you didn't study, you would fail the test. If he didn't work, he wouldn't earn money. If we didn't leave, we would miss the train. If they didn't try, they wouldn't succeed. If she didn't practice, she wouldn't improve. Would you go to the party if they invited you? Would he help you if you asked? Would it be easier if I explained again? What would happen if I forgot my homework? Who would help us if we needed support? Lesson 9, Third Conditional. If I had studied, I would have passed the test. If you had worked harder, you would have succeeded. If he had woken up early, he would have caught the bus. If she had gone to the party, she would have had fun. If it had rained, we would have stayed at home. If we had left on time, we would have arrived early. If they had called, I would have answered the phone. If the dog had barked, someone would have checked. If I had known, I would have told you. If my mom had reminded me, I would not have forgotten. If you had not studied, you would have failed the test. If he had not eaten, he would have been hungry. If she had not worked, she would not have earned money. If we had not gone, we would not have seen the show. If they had not tried, they would not have won the game. Would you have helped me if I had asked? Would he have come if we had invited him? Would it have been better if we had planned ahead? What would have happened if I had forgotten the keys? Who would have fixed it if we had broken it? Lesson 10, Mixed Conditionals. If I were rich, I would have bought a new car last year. If you had studied harder, you would have a better job now. If he hadn't missed the train, he would be here now. If she were more confident, she would have spoken at the meeting. If it weren't raining, we would have gone to the park earlier. If we had saved more money, we would travel more often. If they were more careful, they would not have broken the vase. If I had taken the medicine, I would feel better now. If my brother were home, he would have helped me with my homework. If the dog had been trained well, it would behave better now. If you were taller, you would have reached the top shelf yesterday. If he had arrived on time, he would not be in trouble now. If she had finished the report, she would not be stressed today. If we were in New York, we would have attended the event last week. If they had practiced, they would be champions now. Would you have helped me if I were your friend? Would he have passed the exam if he were smarter? Would it be easier now if we had planned better? What would have happened if I were sick? Who would be helping us now if they hadn't left? Lesson 11. Modal verbs in present tense. I can speak 3 languages. You should eat more vegetables. He must go to the doctor. She can play the piano very well. It might rain later today. We must be careful while crossing the road. They should visit their grandmother. I can help you with your homework. You must finish your work before going outside. She might come to the party tonight. He should read this book. It's interesting. They can dance very well. We must clean our room before the guests arrive. I can see the mountains from here. You should drink more water. He must not forget his keys. She might be at the library now. Can you help me with this problem? Should we call her to confirm the time? Must we leave now, or can we stay a little longer? Lesson 12. Modal verbs in past tense. I could have gone to the party, but I was tired. You should have studied harder for the test. He must have forgotten the meeting. She might have left her book at school. It could have rained last night. We should have called earlier. They might have missed the bus. I couldn't have finished the project without your help. You must have been worried when you didn't hear from me. He shouldn't have eaten so much cake. She might not have understood the instructions. We could have gone to the beach, but it was too cold. I should have asked for help when I didn't understand. They must have seen the movie before. You couldn't have finished the book in one day. He shouldn't have stayed up so late. She might not have been able to make it to the meeting. Could you have finished your homework if you worked faster? Should we have taken the earlier train? Must they have known about the surprise? Lesson 13. Simple past versus present perfect. I visited Paris last year. I have visited Paris before. She worked at the store yesterday. She has worked here for 2 years. They watched a movie last night. They have watched that movie already. He ate dinner at 7 p.m. yesterday. He has eaten dinner already. We saw that film last week. We have seen that film many times. I finished my homework yesterday. I have finished my homework already. She arrived at the airport at 8 a.m. this morning. She has arrived at the airport. They played football last Sunday. They have played football every Sunday. I read that book last month. I have read that book before. We traveled to Spain last summer. We have traveled to many countries. Lesson 14, Future Tenses. Future Simple. I will go to the store tomorrow. You will study for the exam next week. He will help us with the project. She will visit her friend this afternoon. It will snow tomorrow. We will eat dinner at 7 p.m. They will travel to Paris next summer. The teacher will explain the lesson later. I will call you when I arrive. We will see the movie tonight. Be going to. I am going to buy a new phone. You are going to meet your friends later. He is going to study for the test. She is going to cook dinner tonight. It is going to rain soon. We are going to visit the museum tomorrow. They are going to play soccer this weekend. I am going to see my grandmother next month. He is going to start a new job next year. We are going to have a party next Friday. Lesson 15, Future Perfect. By next year, I will have graduated from school. She will have finished her project by tomorrow. They will have arrived at the airport by 6 p.m. We will have eaten dinner by the time you arrive. He will have completed the report by next Monday. I will have read the book by the end of the week. You will have learned a lot by the end of the course. She will have cleaned the house before the guests arrive. We will have traveled to 5 countries by the end of the year. They will have painted the room by Friday. By the time you arrive, I will have finished my homework. He will have worked here for 5 years next month. By tomorrow, she will have called everyone. We will have met all the important people by the end of the conference. I will have helped you with your project by 3 p.m. By 2025, they will have built the new bridge. By the time you finish school, I will have moved to another city. We will have done everything before the deadline. He will have learned to drive by next summer. I will have saved enough money to buy a car by the end of the year. Lesson 16, Future Continuous. I will be studying at 8 p.m. tonight. You will be working tomorrow morning. He will be playing football next Saturday. She will be traveling to New York next month. It will be raining at 5 o'clock. We will be meeting our friends at 6 p.m. They will be cooking dinner when we arrive. I will be sleeping at 10 p.m. tonight. You will be reading a book tomorrow. He will be waiting for you at the bus stop. By this time tomorrow, I will be flying to London. They will be dancing at the party next Friday. She will be watching a movie when you call her. We will be staying at a hotel during the vacation. I will be running in the race next weekend. By next year, you will be studying at university. They will be playing basketball at the park tomorrow afternoon. He will be working late tonight. We will be having dinner when you arrive. She will be studying for her exams all weekend. Lesson 17. Modal verbs in future. I will be able to speak French by the end of the year. You might go to the party tomorrow. He may join us for lunch later. She will have to finish the project by Friday. It could rain later this afternoon. We must leave early to catch the train. They should call if they are going to be late. I might visit my grandparents next weekend. You ought to try harder if you want to succeed. He will need to study for the exam. She may come over to our house later. We can see a movie if you want. They must finish their work before they leave. I should go to bed early tonight. You could help your mom with the groceries tomorrow. He might call you if he gets home early. We must take an umbrella. It looks like rain. They should arrive at 5 p.m. I will be able to meet you after school. She ought to be here by now. Lesson 18. Comparatives and Superlatives. Comparatives. My house is bigger than yours. This book is more interesting than that one. She is taller than her sister. This movie is better than the one we saw last week. He is more careful than his friend. The red shirt is cheaper than the blue one. This test is easier than the last one. My bag is heavier than yours. She is more talented than her classmates. This car is faster than that one. Superlatives. This is the biggest house on the street. This is the most interesting book I've read. She is the tallest person in the class. This is the best movie I've ever seen. He is the most careful worker in the team. This is the cheapest item in the store. The test was the easiest one so far. My bag is the heaviest of all. She is the most talented singer in the competition. This car is the fastest on the track. Lesson 19. Adverbs of frequency. I always wake up at 7 a.m. She usually drinks coffee in the morning. They sometimes go to the park on weekends. He rarely eats fast food. We never miss school. My brother often plays video games after school. I occasionally go to the gym in the evening. She hardly ever gets angry. They frequently travel for work. He seldom visits his grandparents. We always have dinner at 6 p.m. I never forget my homework. She usually takes the bus to work. He sometimes watches TV before bed. They often go for a walk after dinner. I occasionally help my mom with cooking. We rarely go out for lunch. She hardly ever talks in class. I frequently read before going to bed. He seldom skips his exercise routine. Lesson 20. Possessives. This is my book. That is her car parked outside. This is John's pencil case. I like your shoes. Their house is very big. We are going to our school tomorrow. His dog is very friendly. I found her jacket in the kitchen. Their parents are very kind. My brother's room is always messy. I borrowed his notebook for class. Our teacher is very nice. Do you see her phone on the table? This is my mother's bag. Their homework is on the desk. I can't find my keys. His bike is new and shiny. I am wearing my favorite shirt today. Her handwriting is beautiful. We visited our grandparents last weekend. Thanks for this video. I hope it helpful for you and English learners. Please subscribe for more.